Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Froe Show. My name is Frank Mencken, and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Joe Murray.
Hey, Frank. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
I am good.
That is
good to be here.
Hey, did you know that there's a whole lot of content on our Patreon?
Yeah, I did actually.
Who'd have thought? Wow, so if you want to see the content that's on the Patreon, you should go to patreon.com/thefroe show.
There's so much cool stuff on there.
We just put out a new soundcheck shenanigans,
Oh,
which is all the stuff that happens before the show.
that was difficult to make actually. Not
Was
gonna
it?
lie. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because you forgot to fade it out.
No, I don't fade it out anymore. It fades itself out.
Oh, alrighty. There was just so much funny stuff that
Was it?
happened this month.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. My personal favorite was my screaming at the end of me just going, into the mic
That
while we
was
were
funny.
sound checking. That and...
My favorite was probably when you just went, and it was really soft. And then I did it, and then you did it a bit louder, and it just got louder and louder.
My second favorite is Tyrannosaurus elbows.
Her Tyrannosaurus elbows.
That was when Maddie was here, and we were talking beforehand, and I was trying to come up with a name
I knew
that would match
the
these
username.
names.
That's it.
And I came up with Tyrannosaurus
Tyrannosaurus.
elbows. Anyway, there's heaps of content over there. Check it out.
Yes.
Patreon.com/thefroe show. So much stuff, and it's all super good value, and we work really hard on it. And there's going to be a whole bunch of more news things and stuff coming once we hit a certain amount of patrons, and that's all
that's
written
true.
down there in our goals.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I tentatively want to put out there, not as a promise, no promises, no, this is not a statement of fact. This is just something that I would like to do at some point.
Yeah.
Is that Patreon has an option for merch?
Oh, yes.
For certain tiers.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that could be interesting for
That
like
could be very
maybe
cool.
like our $25 tier.
Yeah.
They can get like a T-shirt every couple months or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be
And
cool.
we can get some of our artist friends that come on the show to like design a like make a design.
Yeah, I like that.
It'd be pretty funky.
That would be very
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, stay tuned for that. But,
Yeah.
but welcome, episode 23.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's getting there.
That is getting there.
I have exciting news.
Yeah.
Now, we are not sponsored as a show.
No.
If you would like to sponsor us, send us an email at thefroshow@gmail.com.
Yes.
But our income from the show comes from our Patreon. But I also have something exciting that it's technically not the show. It's technically me.
Yeah.
But because you can't sign up as an organization. You can only sign up personally.
Yeah.
But do you know about Moment? They make the lenses for phone cameras and stuff.
I think I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so Moment has a creators program where it's kind of like a sponsorship, but not really. It's like they don't overtly sponsor you, but it's like if it's like in between a sponsorship and an affiliate link.
Oh yeah.
So it's like if someone buys something through your thing, then we get a kickback basically.
Ah, that is cool.
Now I still have to set it up. I haven't set any of it up yet. I literally got the email this morning that I've been accepted into the creators program. So that's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
So I'll set that up over the course of the next week or so, and then we'll start plugging that as well on the show.
Yeah.
Because we need money.
Yeah. We've bought too many cool things.
And they all were legitimate purchases.
They were.
That were helpful and have upped the quality of our show
Yeah, by a lot.
by a significant amount. Like the first episode compared to this episode
Is insane.
yeah. But you know,
it is horrifying
as
how
much-
bad the first one is. Anyway.
as much as it's a viable purchase and it was helpful, it still costs money.
It does.
So
We need to pay it off.
we do. But yeah, anyway. We'll come back to that a bit later. We're going to talk about kind of our the future of the show and a lot of stuff like that. But first, I would like to do the news.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Froe News. I'm your anchor, Frank Mencken, and I'm joined by my co-anchor, Joseph Murray.
Hello.
I just completely threw myself off. Hang on. let me do it again. I'm your anchor, Frank Mencken, and I'm joined by my co-anchor, Joe Murray.
Hello.
And this is your Entertainment News Weekly. Joe, do you have news this week?
I do.
I saw that you already knew that you had news. I saw it over
I know.
your shoulder. We'll go one for one.
Okay, go.
To start us off, Disney has just ended the 20th Century Fox brand. One of the most storied names in entertainment. They've officially changed the name from 20th Century Fox to 20th Television, which I hate.
That is so sad.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's big sad.
That is very sad. The UK has opened the first socially distanced venue this week, seating 2,500 people on 500 spaced out viewing platforms in Newcastle in England.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks really weird, but yeah.
Avatar co-creators Mike and Brian depart Netflix's live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender remake series. A bit more on that later in the show. I have a bit more information about that I couldn't really cover in the news segment.
So this is sort of aimed at our US viewers,
All right.
but the AMC theaters will charge only 15 cents on reopening day, which is roughly the equivalent amount that they would have spent back when the company was founded.
That's incredible.
So that's per ticket on 15 cents per ticket on reopening day. That's just because the theater has taken such a big toll. Well, it's been impacted hugely from COVID and all that kind of stuff.
Is that only on reopening day?
Yep.
Okay. Fortnite has been banned on all app stores.
What?
Google Play and the Apple App Store due to Fortnite using a new payment method for V-Bucks to avoid Apple's 30% revenue sharing. Apple has removed the game from its App Store, causing Epic Games to step in with a lawsuit. And as of 20 minutes before recording, Google Play has done the exact same thing. So it is now no longer available on Android or iOS devices.
Gee, that's crazy. Taylor Swift's Folklore album has topped the charts for a second week in a row. Which is kind of expected, I guess.
Yeah, it's Taylor Swift. It's
Yeah.
going to happen. A League of Their Own reboot gets a series ordered by Amazon. A League of Their Own, a reimagining of Penny Marshall's 1992 film that starred Tom Hanks, has just been rebooted by Amazon.
Ooh. This is for those music nerds like me. Bobby Tahiri is set to score the upcoming Marvel Avengers video game. He's worked on other big games recently, such as Rise of the Tomb Raider and Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark, but that should be really good.
John Wick 5 is to shoot back-to-back with John Wick 4. Immediately after production of John Wick 4 finishes, they're going to go right back in and keep shooting John Wick 5.
Oh, sick.
So that's a bit intense.
That's all my news.
That's all your news. Okay. The Tron movie starring Jared Leto is officially a go at Disney. The sci-fi franchise looks to have a new life as Garth Davis has been tapped to direct the movie. Six Underground's Adria Arjano lands lead role in Rogue One series starring Diego Luna. I'm just going to call it Adria. Adria is set to star opposite Diego Luna in Disney Plus's Star Wars series based on the Cassian Andor character Luna played in the 2016 spin-off film Rogue One. Next up, Drake Bell of Drake and Josh fame denies allegations he was abusive towards his ex-girlfriend, Melissa Lingerfeld. And lastly, Jason Derulo, this is a funny one, Jason Derulo came out this week saying that he thought that cats would change the world. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much. We will see you next week. Bye.
No comment.
Change the world.
I still haven't seen that Cats, but I've seen enough trailers of it to know that it wasn't going to change the world.
No. Have you seen the cockroach scene from that movie?
No, but apparently
it's horrible. It is incredibly bad.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
is it on Netflix? Disney.
Disney? I don't know. I don't think it'll end up anywhere. I think it's just been. They're just gonna forget. They're gonna try their best to forget about it. Yeah. So in the news segment, I talked a little bit about the Avatar co-creators leaving the show. I would like to read their statement because they made a public statement this week that it's really depressing, honestly. So this is what, and I'm gonna kind of skip around his. So he wrote an open letter. and he said, many of you have been asking me for updates about the Avatar live-action Netflix series. I can finally tell you that I am no longer involved with the project. In June of this year, after 2 years of development work, Brian Konietzko and I made the difficult decision to leave the project. And who knows, Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar has the potential to be good. It might turn out to be a show many of you end up enjoying, but what I can be certain about is that whatever version ends up on screen, it will not be what Brian and I had envisioned or intended to make.
Wow.
I also want to be clear that this doesn't mean the end of my involvement in the Avatar universe. These stories and characters are important to me, and their renewed interest and excitement in Avatar and Korra has been inspiring to see. Writing this letter has left me with a very heavy heart. I know many of you will be disappointed and frustrated by this news. Thankfully, Iroh offered some wisdom for that too. Sometimes life is like this dark tunnel. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you just keep moving, you will come to a better place. May we all keep moving and come to a better place. I skipped a whole lot. That letter is like 1,200 words.
Whoa.
But I just kind of pulled out the relevant parts. And there's an equally long one by Brian, the other co-creator.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
really
really
sad.
sad. And the leading thing at the moment that people have been talking about is that the reason they've stepped off of the production was because they're trying to whitewash the cast.
Right.
And obviously, historically, the Avatar show is a lot of indigenous people, Tibetan people, Chinese people, and Inuit tribes.
Right.
There are no, from what I understand, there are no white people in the Avatar universe. It's like it's all Asia based.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, it makes total sense. But yeah, so I think from what I've read, and obviously currently this is all speculation until more comes out, but there's been a couple leaks that have come out from the studio and that sort of thing, from employees, and the current thing is that the Tibetan the monks, the air nomads in Avatar are based on Tibetan monks.
Right.
And the co-creators obviously wanted to cast actual Tibetan people as the characters, but China has some sort of disdain towards Tibet.
Right.
For a whole bunch of reasons, but this is not a political podcast, so we're not going to talk about that. But
Yeah.
China has disdain towards Tibet, and I assume that the studio wants to keep their Chinese market, because that is a very large portion of the general market.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what is being speculated as having happened now, is that they were trying to make the air nomads white to appeal towards the Chinese market. So
Right.
definitely not great.
No.
But you know, it just sucks. It's going to be another. I'm almost sure it's going to be another M. Night Shyamalan type thing of the first
Yeah.
Avatar movie.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah, and like this sort of thing happens all the time
Mm.
with production and that sort of thing. But it just sucks when it's something you care so much about.
Yeah.
Like I was so excited for this series because it had Mark and Brian. It had a couple writers from the original show.
Oh wow.
Like it was on track to be banging.
Yeah.
But they really, really, screwed the pooch on this one.
Yeah.
It's a weird phrase.
That is a
Screwed the
weird.
pooch.
Yeah. Now that you say it again.
Yeah. No one should be screwing pooches.
No one should be saying that, at least.
No, it shouldn't be a phrase anymore.
Anyway.
But yeah, I kind of just wanted to bring that up because it makes me big sad, honestly. That it's come to them having to leave, because obviously if they're leaving, it means this has been going on for a while, and
Yeah,
they're just
and
their
they just
ideas are
had
just
enough
not
Getting
coming through. Yeah.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed, it's
still
still
good.
still worth watching. But
Yeah.
I have no faith now.
Oh,
I think I'm just gonna watch the original Avatar series again.
Yeah.
I actually, on that note, I don't really understand the obsession with people wanting to remake animated shows as live action.
Yeah, it's kind of a new thing, isn't it?
It
It's a
really
bit weird.
is. And I don't see the logic in it, because there's so much more that you can do and convey in animation, because you're not limited by the constraints of real life.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't see the logic. I get wanting to bring it to a wider audience because I'm sure a wider audience would watch
live action.
live action.
I suppose wouldn't live action be higher budget as well?
Yeah, but
Oh, I
only
don't know.
because it has to be.
Yeah, particularly for those kind of shows when you have CGI and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know
No.
why you would feel the need to make a live action adaptation of a brilliant animated show. It's the same
And-
thing they do with animes.
yeah.
They do it all the time with animes. They're like, we're going to make a live action version of this anime. And then they watch the movie and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I don't like that. Now
Nah.
that you say it,
Nah.
that would be hard because you wouldn't even know if people are going to watch it. I
No.
reckon.
And I think a
this
lot-
could flop. Sort
Yeah.
of.
And a lot of fans of the animated version would be like, oh, well, that sucks. Why would I watch a live action version of this?
Yeah.
You know? Which I totally understand.
Unless they're trying to get people to jump from anime to live action, then kind of not go back.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them doing that. That wouldn't really surprise me all that much.
I don't like that though.
No, I don't like that. I'm gonna take this segue. We have some exciting news.
We do.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
Oh, yeah.
it's we have a actually.
Yeah.
We have a whiteboard now over here.
It's kind of we need it over there.
Well, I tried to put it there, but it pushed the tripod over,
Uh,
so I couldn't really find a good spot for it.
maybe on that desk leg.
Oh yeah,
That
like
would be
in
good.
between the tripods.
Yeah.
We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
But for now, it's over here. So I'm like,
You're fine.
I'm perfect. I like where I'm normally looking is like,
It's
whoop.
straight.
But you've got to be like,
I actually have to look around my mic. Hold up. Alrighty.
hold on, let me just check.
Now I know what we're talking about now. And that's just so we try and get through everything that we have for you guys.
Yeah.
Because
And we're going to be talking about a plugin.
called ProComp.
I was writing it on the board and I used an abbreviation, and Joe was like, "That's a plugin," and I was like, "I don't care."
Shut up, man.
No, ProComp actually stands for production company.
Yes.
Which is
Dude, tell us more from.
which we kind of we alluded to last week, but this week is kind of the official announcement
Yes.
of that the Froe Show is going to become a smaller part of a larger entity, and that being Froe, the production company,
Yeah.
which tentatively is Froe Media.
I like Froe Media.
All right, Froe Media, done.
Yeah. Write it. Put it in writing.
So
Froe Media.
Froe Media is going to. So we should probably talk about what it is. It's a production company.
Yeah.
Is basically the gist of it. So currently it'll be for whatever anyone will pay us to do. But I think ultimately we want to end up in like short films advertising area.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, advertising would be cool.
Yeah. But that's something that we're working towards now. We've planned it all out. We've got a whole
Yeah, on the other side of this whiteboard, there's a
it's a one
full plan.
this year, next year, and this year, next year, and a 5-year plan.
Yeah.
All like set out in writing, gonna happen.
Well, in writing on a whiteboard, so.
Yeah, and everyone knows that whiteboards are legit. The second you
They're-
write it on a whiteboard, it's real.
It's not coming off.
It's there forever. Well, I mean, it is there forever if you leave it long enough.
True.
To be fair.
Well, we had to scrub off
Yes, because this is an
Some
old
old-
whiteboard, and there
Yeah.
was stuff from from the
like
office
6
that I
years
took
ago
it off
or
of.
something.
Yeah, probably 6, give or take.
Yeah.
Or 8,
Yeah,
something like that. And it took us like an hour.
yeah, it was fun.
And we were scrubbing for ages, and then we were like, oh, we should probably use alcohol. And then we just sprayed it with alcohol, and it went. It was clean.
It was
We were like,
gone.
oh,
One
cool.
wipe.
So we're stupid. But yeah,
Anyway,
so
ProComp.
yeah, Froe Media production company. It's happening.
Yeah.
And so
So we're looking at like hard launching it next year.
so early next year is we're looking at our hard launch.
Yeah.
Which will be, hopefully in a space.
Hopefully, yeah.
At that point, and that means that we can have a permanent set, because this is a teardown set. that we have right now.
Literally,
Like-
5 minutes after the show, this room's empty.
Yeah, like this gets taken down and set up every week.
Yeah.
So by then we can have a permanent set, which probably means that we'll have permanent mounting for the curtains, so they'll look a lot nicer, and you know, we might have some better chairs, and you know, just a better setup.
Just nicer.
Not having to mount our boom arms on just random stuff around the room.
Move furniture around so we can mount boom
Man,
arms.
if this angle was any wider,
Oh, it's kind of terrible.
well, I mean,
It's pretty good.
We make do with what we've got, and that's
Yes,
important.
That is.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
the I think the ultimate plan that we have is having a space, which means we can have a permanent podcast set, a place to bring clients, a sound studio,
Yeah.
and a film studio.
I'm not sure if we'll have that next year, but
Well, I mean, if we have it's
it's a
possible.
money thing.
Well, yeah, it is a money.
We're currently not making enough for that.
thing. So patreon.com/the Froe Show, because that also means that if we are making money from this as well as other things, that means that the production level of this show can go up. That means we
True,
can get
yeah.
better. That means we can get better cameras. We can get better lighting. We can get better set, better everything.
Just better.
Just better.
just be
we can
better.
get some Shure SM7Bs.
Oh. I mean, these are pretty nice.
These are very
These are
good
pretty.
microphones.
These have surprised me.
Yeah, they're very. I mean, these are basically the step down from the SM7Bs. From everything that I've that
yeah,
I've read
pretty
for
much.
podcasting, it's like SM7Bs, Procaster,
Mm.
Broadcaster, Pod mic,
Pod mic.
and then the AT.
Oh, and then the Electro Voice RE20, I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that one though.
It's a bit tinny.
It is. It's got a big. It's not written on the frequency thing, but it's got a big boost at the top end, I think. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so that's kind of our general plan for next year.
Yeah.
This year, next year. So,
But we are doing things this year.
Yes.
We're trying to get experience, build a portfolio, things like that.
yeah.
So.
It's honestly, it's just making a reel that both of us have worked on.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of where we're at now is like we need something that both of us have
'Cause
done.
we've done a lot of stuff individually.
Yeah.
But
Literally, like we're looking at our whiteboard. Half the whiteboard is our show notes, and the other half just says brainstorming, and it's all the things that we want to shoot this year.
oh, that's for this year.
Well,
You mean I have to do all that this year?
not necessarily, but this year, next year, yeah.
Okay.
That's a while. That's 6 months.
Yeah.
That's ages.
True. I guess. I suppose.
I also
Better get on that one then. That one in the top right.
I mean, you don't have any sound stuff with you today.
No.
I was like, oh, we can do that this afternoon, but yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway. On that though, we haven't talked about this, but I had another idea.
Oh, yes.
Is that so I think that ultimately there's going to be 2 Froe channels.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
going to be the Froe Show, which is going
Yeah.
to be the podcast, and then Froe Media, which is going to be
So, a separate YouTube channel.
so that's going to be for whatever else.
Yeah. I like that.
Videos that we make together, short films, music videos, whatever. Behind the scenes videos of that, all that stuff will end up there.
Yep.
I also think
Mm.
that you need to start a YouTube channel.
Individually.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that that's a good idea because I think that you have a very, very good niche.
True. That is very true. The only thing is it's hard to do those kind of things without becoming a gear channel.
Yeah.
I suppose in general it's always hard to do that.
Yeah. I
In
mean, that's-
creative.
Yeah, I mean that's the same thing with making a photography. That's why I struggled with mine.
Yeah.
And I'm really only like I'm kind of now getting back into it because I have ideas now of how I can do it. Thanks to Colin and Samir's YouTube
Oh, the
filmmaking course that I did, which is very good.
Yep.
Would recommend. It is on Moment, so I would plug it, but you know,
But you
there
can't.
might be a link in the description if I can figure it out. But yeah, so I think that would be a good idea though, getting a solo channel.
Yeah. I did actually. So I got a piece of gear this week that I sent you a photo of. One of my things that I bought like 3 years ago finally came. It was like 3 months ago.
It was more than that. It was like 5.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about that in like episode 8.
Oh, well, that's sad. I'm not going to buy anything from them again. So one of them has come, the other one hasn't come yet. But I actually filmed a unboxing video and immediately scrapped it because I hated it.
Oh, what did you film it on? Just on your phone?
I filmed it on a GoPro.
Oh, okay.
So it looked okay. And I just set it, it's a Hero 5, so I said it's like the narrowest setting.
Yeah.
So it didn't look like a fisheye as much.
Right. Do you still have the footage?
Maybe.
I want to cut it together.
Oh, it's not very good.
Is it on your laptop?
I think maybe. I shouldn't have said that.
Don't let a filmmaker know that you have uncut footage. To be fair, I scrapped all my footage from yesterday.
What? I wanted to see that.
Nah, I dumped it.
Ah.
I was like, this day sucks. I just went.
Yeah, you didn't have a very good day yesterday.
No, I did not. I don't want to talk about it on the show, but I did not have a good day yesterday.
So, production company coming soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a lot more, because I think that's going to very quickly become a big part of the show, is talking about that, because you know it is important, and I also want to do a series like the one that we watched,
like the one,
yeah.
I'm keen.
Do something like that. So do a
That would be cool.
setting up a production company series.
We better get on that now.
Yes, which means we need to start filming content now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be very exciting. That will kind of give sporadic updates as we go along of the process. Currently, we are in the process of, doing all the necessary things like getting a business number, getting a
bank account.
All that stuff.
All
the
becoming
fun
a business.
stuff. Yeah.
Like legally becoming a business.
Yes, and legally being able to trade and make money.
Yes.
Which, is helpful.
Very helpful.
Because currently we can't get the money out of our Patreon.
No.
It's just
we're not a business.
Because we can't go anywhere.
It's just chilling there.
It's literally just sitting in a Patreon account somewhere, just waiting. And just like big sad eyes, like, please come pick me up. But yeah, so production company, we're in the process of setting it up now. And we'll give updates as we go along. We might do like a monthly segment or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, for media updates. For updates.
It's going to be for updates. It's going to be cool though. I'm really excited to get into this.
I'm also very excited.
And I'm really keen with some of the projects we have running at the moment.
Oh, I'm looking at the whiteboard and I'm like...
Some of them are really cool. Actually, one of them's not written down there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so there's...
The one.
Yeah, you can't say that's a top secret one.
Yeah, that's...
Even from people that listen
That
to
is
this.
top secret, but you know what I meant when I say...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can just hear that sound effect happening.
No talking. I also have that other... I have a solo project that I'm really excited for.
That is very cool. I wish I was doing that.
I cannot talk about it until it's been shot. Oh. Oh no, I won't even be able to talk about it until it's released.
Oh, and that's not going to be for a long time.
Oh, hopefully they release it quick.
Can you tell them that they need a sound guy?
I'll try. I'll do my best.
Good.
I'll do my best.
Good.
So yeah, heaps of exciting stuff coming. I did want to talk a little bit about our analytics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, and I want to talk about it from a YouTube sense, because like from on the podcast apps and stuff, that's constantly increasing by 1 or 2 every episode.
Yeah. So
that's not really what I'm worried about. YouTube is the one that I focus very heavily on, because like our views and listens are double, triple what they are on YouTube than what they are on podcast apps, which is fine. That's great, because YouTube is where most content creators are. So it's really not that surprising that they're all on YouTube. But our analytics have been super interesting, and I have both been getting a lot more into our analytics and kind of looking at when we should be posting and that sort of thing, and who our audience is, and seeing our growth and that sort of thing. And from that, we've changed our posting time.
We have,
Well, we're running a test at the moment, but I think we'll end up keeping it because it seems to be doing well so far.
Yeah.
But we've just changed it from 12 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's just 6 hours earlier, which means that the east and west coast of the US also get it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right around, I think it's 3:30, 4:30 p.m. So right on the drive home.
Yeah.
So perfect timing for
timing.
both time zones.
Well, see, it's interesting because we were also looking at. We can see that we've had some spikes in views on certain days.
Yeah.
And it's been weird because it's been on weekends.
Yeah, Sundays are our spike.
Sundays,
Which makes me think that it's like a they have to go back to work on Monday and they have to learn something really quickly.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's just a chill thing that you put on a podcast. I don't know.
I've been told we have a very chill show,
Yeah.
which, you know,
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
we are pretty chill.
We are.
Like, we have our moments, but for the most part, we're pretty, like, mellow on the show.
Yeah.
We're not really in person.
No.
Like, in real life, we're pretty, like, "Yeah." But, like, on the show,
Well,
like...
you are. I'm fairly mellow.
You're fairly mellow. I'm rather...
Skitsy.
But, yeah, like, just the stuff that we talk about, I feel like it benefits the content to be more mellow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to listen to someone talk about a camera and be like, "What's up, guys? This is the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. It is sick. I sold my mum for this," you know? I wouldn't want to watch that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay.
Um,
Yeah, I see that.
but yeah, so more mellow. I forgot how I got here. Oh, Sundays.
Analytics.
We were talking about
Yeah,
Sundays.
Even we had a spike on a Saturday. And that was,
Yeah.
strange. You guys are weird.
You guys are weird. And it's also been really cool because we're seeing more engagement in the comments and that sort of thing. Like more and
Yeah.
more people are commenting, which is great. Which means like we get to have a dialogue with
Yeah, with
actual people,
Yeah.
which is super cool. And I really, really enjoyed it. I had a great conversation. I had a great comment that I replied to this morning on the BlackMagic rigging clip.
Oh, yeah.
Asking what my thoughts were on the BlackMagic Pocket Cinema Camera 12K, which is on the board, which we will talk about in a little bit after this segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so seeing all those comments and that sort of thing has been really, really cool. Just to be able to actually have, you know, interaction.
Yeah.
But my favorite analytic has been the impressions.
Yeah.
Because so for those of you who don't know, who aren't super invested in YouTube, your impressions are basically the amount of people that have been shown your video. That doesn't mean they've watched it. It means they've seen it in a sidebar or in a playlist or on their homepage or whatever.
Yeah.
And so our lifetime. So we started the show in March, which is also when we started the YouTube channel. But the YouTube channel hasn't really been that active for most of that. It's only really been active for about 2 months now.
Yeah.
And we have a total of 12,600 impressions on the
Wow.
whole. So 12,600 people have been recommended our video at some point.
Yeah.
7,600 of which were in the last 28 days.
Whoa.
So massive spike in people
Yeah.
actually seeing our videos, which is really cool.
That is really cool.
And we kind of see that in our views as well. Our views have doubled, tripled in
Yeah.
the past month.
And they're slowly going.
Yeah, it's
Which is
a
cool.
very slow curve.
Yeah.
But you know, it's better than no curve. So
Exactly.
I'm fine. And our
And we're past episode 7, so
and we passed episode 7 exactly. But yeah, so it's really cool to see that kind of slowly going. And our sub count is slowly going up as well.
yeah, it is.
We've grown 29 in the past 28 days. So it's just over a sub a day.
Yeah.
Which is great for a show, which is great for a podcast. Like, historically, podcasts don't get a lot of repeat listeners or repeat views, that sort of thing.
So,
but yeah,
it's really cool.
Very
Super
cool.
interesting.
Really, really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But that's kind of analytics. I think it's important for me personally and for the show as a whole for us to be super transparent.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking about all these things and like talking about us as professionals and as videographers and photographers and blah, 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 and as sound designers and engineers and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, if we're not open about who our show and who's seeing it and that sort of thing and our analytics, who are we then?
Yeah.
If we can't be honest about that sort of thing.
Mm.
Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yeah, we got like thousands of listens. We're basically famous. Like, sponsor us. We should probably I'll censor that.
Yeah.
That play. Because they're not sponsoring us and they don't deserve free clout.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get, I think on our average is anywhere from 50 to 100 views / listens an episode.
Yeah.
That's including both YouTube and
yeah.
Anchor.
And see, that's a lot
upload.
bigger than we were like 2 months ago.
We were getting like
10.
Mate, if that. If that.
So it's awesome, yeah.
Yeah, and I think our clips have really helped with that.
Yeah.
Like the clips have really been like a way for people to interact with the show in a much more condensed way.
Even what you were just saying with that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, super fun, super great.
And that was actually a really good opportunity. Someone was asking me about the podcast last night, and they were like, "Oh, how long is it?" I was like, "Oh, we film for about an hour, but if you're looking on the YouTube, we have clips and stuff, so you can just 3 or 5 minutes, have a listen."
Exactly.
Like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and like those are our highlights. Like, those are those like this is going to be one of the clips. Like those are the big things that we talk about in the show.
Yeah.
So those are always worth checking out. And if you want to see all the in between stuff, because we talk about heaps of little things in between all the big things. Do. Like we have all these massive topics that we talk about, but like of those, very few of those are going to end up being clips.
Yeah.
Like it'll be Froe News always becomes a clip. This will become a clip. Maybe the Avatar segment. It depends what we talk about for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. So, but also on that, it is also very important for us as a show that the people that are watching it are also sharing it.
Yeah.
So, not to be like,
yeah, I know.
Not to be beggy about it, but if you enjoy the show, do share it with the people that you think would enjoy it. Share it,
share it, comment.
Yeah, like we love engaging with you, and the more people that there are to engage with, the better your discussions will be with them, the better our discussions will be, that sort of thing. So, share it with the people you care about, share it with other filmmakers, other photographers, other content creators. And then we can slowly grow our cute little community. Yeah. And if you join the Patreon, you can join our Discord group and we can talk.
Yeah, we can chat whenever.
Little plug.
So you mentioned that 12K camera.
Yes. Do you want me to go straight to that?
Yeah, I reckon go straight to that.
So BlackMagic released a new camera. It's called the BlackMagic. I don't know if it's still a pocket. I don't think it's a pocket cinema camera.
It's not the boom cooker.
Well, it's still. I think it's still called
boom cooker.
I think it's still technically called the pocket cinema camera.
Boom cooker.
Boom cooker. But it's not a pocket. It's she big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the other ones are like the ones you've shown me. The 4K is like just a big DSLR.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
Oh no, it's not a pocket cinema camera. It's they're called the BlackMagic Ursa Mini Pro, is what they're called.
I thought it had an S in there. Oh, Ursa Mini Pro.
Yeah.
I'm just dumb.
So I'll read out the specs because this is a beast of. So I'm gonna read. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read the specs.
Yep.
And then you're gonna guess the price.
Okay.
Okay. So it is a.
Is it $12,000?
No.
It says 12K there. I'm a sound guy. Sorry.
It is a 12K Super 35 HDR CMOS sensor. I
don't know what that means.
It's 12K up to 60 frames per second and 8K up to 100 frames per second. It has 14 stops of dynamic range. It has raw compression up to 18:1. And it has 8K and 4K anamorphic up to 140 frames per second and Super 16 4K to 220 frames per second. So for reference, I will kind of give you a reference point. So my 4K, which is coming at some point this year.
Yes.
Some
point. That's so sad.
Was 1600 $1,600.
Oh, that's cheap.
I think. Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Oh wow, I thought it was like $3,000.
No. That was 1,600,
1,600.
and that is 4K. Micro Four Thirds, so sort of similar to Super 16. So half of the sensor size as. Well, no, it's It's Micro Four Thirds. It's its own thing. It goes up to 4K. So no 6K, no 8K, no 12K. It has 12 stops of dynamic range as opposed to the 14 that this one has. Its raw compression goes up to 8:1, not 18:1. And it has no anamorphic from what I know. And that was 1,600 Australian. So would you like to take a guess at what this 12K camera costs in Australian dollars?
1,600. I reckon 4.5.
You were closer with your first guess.
I said 1,600.
No.
Oh,
Of your first.
$12,000. Is it higher than $12,000?
Would you like to take another guess?
What? Is it 15,000?
It's $14,399.
Holy moly! That is a big jump.
Yes. And that's because it's a cinema camera. This is not
proper cinema camera.
Yeah, this is not a prosumer camera. This is
That's legit.
This is a big boy camera.
That's like what Netflix will hire out to film something.
Yeah.
Gee.
So this is it's insane. It is insane.
Yeah. So what was the question about that camera?
They were just asking what my thoughts were on it. My thoughts are it's sick.
It's amazing.
It's so cool. I love it.
That is a
but
lot of money though.
It is. And my thing is, now, a lot of people have an issue with 12K, which I understand because there's no 12K monitors, there's no 12K TVs. It doesn't exist yet.
Okay.
Now.
But isn't the extra pixels just so you can zoom in?
Yes.
I know film stuff.
Exactly. So you can shoot at 12K. You can shoot an entire scene on this one camera, shoot it in 12K, and then crop into 8K, 6K, 4K, 1080, whatever you need to do, and do close-ups for each individual person, and lose little to no quality.
True. Wow.
So if we were shooting at 12K, you could like
zoom in on my nose.
you could punch in a stupid amount.
Yeah.
Like stupid.
I actually saw a video for someone who was filming in 8K, and he was filming I think he was doing a time lapse of a mountain, and then it zoomed into like 4K, and it was already like so far zoomed in, like all you could see in the frame is this mountain.
Yeah.
And then it went into 1080, and it's like you can't even see the sky anymore.
Yeah, you don't realize how good it is.
Yeah.
And you know Linus Tech Tips on YouTube?
Maybe.
They're one of the largest tech channels. They have like 10 million subs or something like that. Something
Yeah.
stupid.
Sounds familiar.
They've bought 3.
Okay.
And you can only buy 2 at a time from the BlackMagic store. So they bought 2 on the company account and then bought 1 on a personal account so they could get 3.
Wow.
But
That
the
is
reason they did that
crazy.
was they want a 3-camera setup,
Oh.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's fair. And if you have that kind of money to spend, why would you not?
I'm just thinking, because when you have that 4K camera, we won't need a 2-camera setup. Will we? Oh, I suppose we don't now. Never mind, I'm just dumb.
Oogie.
Because you have the 2-camera setup because you want different angles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see. I haven't used the wide for the past 3 episodes. I've used only the 4K for the main episode, and I've used the wide for the Patreon show. But
That's just because the 4K looks so much better.
the 4K, it's not even just the 4K.
Oh, it's just the camera.
It's the camera. It's the sensor. It's the processing. Like the 80D is a good camera. It's just not great.
And even I was taking photos on that last week, and then you asked me to take a photo on the EOS R, and I just putting my eye up to that viewfinder, and I was like, oh my word.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, this is
an actual camera.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. And I took a photo, and it looked like I had just worked for 6 hours in post to make this looking, but
Yeah.
it was like raw.
Exactly.
Oh.
And it's the whole thing of yes, there's getting it. Yeah, it's we're gonna move away from the BlackMagic, but yes, I
Yes.
very much enjoy the BlackMagic 12K. It's a fantastic camera. I would love to rent one day.
Yeah.
And just
Just
have a go.
that'd be be a lot for a day, though, wouldn't it?
Probably like 150.
Oh, I would have
It's
thought
not,
like
not that,
$1,000.
it's not that bad for rental. Anyway,
Anyway.
we were getting into gear and that sort of thing, and I think that
Okay.
the whole thing of that's the next thing that's because you want to talk about sound gear.
Yeah, I
That's
found
right.
something pretty cool.
Well, I want to talk about this, and then we can segue into
Yeah,
yours. How
go
about
for
that?
it.
So gear is one of those things with photography and filmmaking that people get so wrapped up in, and I do as well because I really enjoy it. It is the one thing that I willingly spend money on.
Yeah.
Like I don't spend money on anything else. I buy cameras, I buy lenses, I buy lights. That's it.
And then fuel and food, and that's it.
Literally, and I'm still broke because cameras are expensive.
The cameras are...
But like
Yeah.
you don't need good gear to make good films. That's the thing. You
Yeah.
you can make a film on a phone, but there is a line.
Yeah.
And there is a point where you will need to upgrade, and that's fine. Like I always find it so frustrating with YouTube content creators who are like, you can just, and this is Casey Neistat's big thing, and I love him. He is a fantastic filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I absolutely agree with the fact that you can make films on any piece of gear, but they will not be the best kind of quality.
Yeah.
And there are other things that you need to learn first. You need to learn lighting first. You need to learn
Yeah.
composition first. All of these things will help. But gear also helps. Like just you can shoot the most boring thing on a red camera and it'll still look cinematic. And that's just how it is,
Yeah.
you know? And at some point you're going to have to weigh up the pros and cons of whether the cost of that is worth it.
Yeah.
Because shooting stuff on my EOS R is so much easier than it was on my 80D. Like I can just shoot and shoot and shoot on that EOS R, and I have so much more wiggle room in post. The photos come out much better straight out of my camera.
Yeah.
Shooting is easier with an electronic viewfinder. I know exactly what
yeah.
shot I'm getting,
Yeah.
rather than just guessing using the exposure meter.
Actually, that's what I noticed as well. It
Yeah.
freaked me out when the thing turned off.
Yeah,
It's like, what am I doing?
yeah.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're going to take, and that has been super helpful because I don't have dud photos now.
Yeah.
Like every photo I take is intentional. It's like, okay, I know exactly what this photo is going to look like immediately,
Yeah.
rather than just being like, oh, the exposure bar is like somewhere in the middle, so hopefully this comes out good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm sure that there's similar stuff with audio.
Oh, for sure. Even the big debate, I've spoken about this before, I think, with analog gear and digital gear. So using like what's better, digital plugins that are emulators for analog gear, or actually having the analog gear, which will be like $2,000 for a unit compared to like maybe $500 for 5 plugins that emulate 5 different things.
Yeah.
But it's similar. Like you'll probably... It also depends on what music you're making. If you're doing like pop or obviously electronic, no outboard gear is going to sound as good as the super clean digital made stuff, because that's just the sound you're going for. But if you're going for like maybe progressive rock or something super grungy or punk or something, I don't know, and you're trying to get that sort of older day vibe, then putting it through a really like big Neve compressor or a summing amp or something, an outboard one will definitely sound better, just because you get that like analog grunge and sort of, if you push it really hard, you can really hear the difference. But then again, digital stuff is getting better and better. So
Yeah.
it's really the same thing. Gear will make it sound a little bit better. It'll always make things easier.
But it won't make you a good
No,
sound engineer or a good filmmaker. Yeah.
no.
That's my thing as well.
Yeah.
Like you need to be a good photographer or filmmaker first.
Yeah. You need to learn how to do it with the $200 worth of gear rather than the $20,000 worth of gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That's a really good sentiment.
Yeah,
I
because
really-
if you
yeah.
can't do it with a $200 worth of gear,
What
then
makes you think you're going to be able to do it with 5,000?
like you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
It's not going to sound good.
That's why I bought a cheap drone first. I'm still on my Mavic Mini.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's a great. And
Now I want one.
I'm reaching. That's my thing now with the Mavic Mini. I'm reaching my limits of the Mavic
Yeah.
Mini now.
Mm.
After a year of owning it,
Yeah,
like I bought it immediately when it came out.
right.
So, and it's a great little drone.
It is.
But I'm seeing now like the limitations of it. Like, I don't have sensors. I don't have manual control.
Mm.
I don't have shutter. I don't have shutter, aperture, anything. I don't have
Yeah.
nothing. It's all auto,
Yeah.
which really frustrates me.
Yeah, especially because your photography now,
Yeah.
it's like everything's manual and all that kind of stuff.
Even video, everything I do is manual. I don't.
wow.
I do nothing in auto.
Oh,
So it's really frustrating
when it's
when I'm forced to use auto in something
Yeah.
that can absolutely be done manually.
yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm looking at new
hear that.
drones, so that'll
Yeah.
be my. I think that'll be my. I think I'm gonna buy because I bought the lens. I bought the lens
Oh, yeah.
for the
The
BlackMagic.
4K. Yeah,
And I'm gonna buy the rig, and then I'm gonna chill out for a bit,
and then buy a drone, and then
buy a drone at the end of the year.
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. But yeah, the gear is written down there. I came across this really cool thing this week. It's super cheap. It's they said it was $200 US, so $350 here
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah, roughly.
When Australian dealers are really bad, like with sound gear as well, they bump up the price heaps.
Yeah, it's the same thing with
So-
camera stuff.
I hate it.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah. Anyway,
a 600 US camera is like 1,200 Australian. That's
Yeah.
an import cost.
it's so dumb. But it's called, you probably heard of it, the Rode Wireless Go. Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah?
I really want one.
They're so cool.
Mhm.
I'd never heard of them before. I haven't had any need to do any wireless stuff because all the stuff I do is studio or post things.
They have a built-in microphone, and it just like clips onto your belt.
You can just clip it on,
It's so sick.
and it has I'll read the specs, or I should have read through these before, but operates as a clip-on microphone or a belt transmitter, and you can connect to the 3.5mm jack to a lav. What else? Built-in omnidirectional condenser mic. So yeah, that's the one in the transmitter. 2.4 gigahertz digital wireless transmission with 100. I don't know actually what this means. I don't know what I'm saying. Up to 70 meters range in line of sight though, so it does have quite a short range.
Which is fine.
Yeah, fine
But
for
like still,
it's aimed at like filming interviews and things
Yeah.
like that and being super easy.
but it's a wireless. It's so
And
affordable too.
Yeah, yeah. And I was looking at other ones. There's a Sennheiser kit that is at similar level, but it's an extra $150 or something.
I pointed them out to you when we were at the sound store.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. They were on the counter to the left,
Oh, I think I vaguely remember that,
Yeah.
actually.
and I went, "I want one of them," and you went,
I was probably like, we'll get it. No, if I'd said that, you would have gotten it.
"Yes, this is correct."
Yeah, but they're so cool because you, with filming and stuff, we have that Rode. What is that mic?
Video mic. That's
Video
just the
mic
video
also.
mic.
Yeah, so you put the transmitter where that would be, so sitting on top of your camera, and then you can put
In your hot shoe.
the receiver. Sorry,
Yeah, you put the receiver in your hot shoe,
hot shoe. That word.
or yeah,
Yeah, because it clips straight in.
you can also put it in a cold shoe because it just connects via cable.
I don't know the difference.
A hot shoe is directly, so it's transmitting electronic data to your camera. A cold shoe is just a slot.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because it has a cold shoe thing. Does it have a hot shoe on?
No, it's just a
Just-
cold
yeah.
shoe mount. It
Yeah.
doesn't submit. It like the only things that transmit electronic data are like lights, like flashes, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, so you put it in that mount, and then you can plug it straight in, and then have the other one. It's great for YouTube stuff,
Everything.
interviews,
great for a
just
lot of things.
everything. I saw someone rig it up into a headset, so he had I think he had the transmitter plugged into the camera,
Oh.
and he had the receiver set up on his headphones. So he glued a a cold shoe mount to the outside of his headphones.
That's cool.
You can put the receiver in there and then plugged it in with the 3.5mm jack. So it was I think it was one of the old Sony headphones that had that, or have that. And yeah, so instead of using Bluetooth to monitor his stuff, which has quite a big latency.
Yeah.
He was using these transmitters that had like nearly zero latency.
Huh.
So yeah, they're really cool, and I think there's some really cool ways that you can use them.
Yeah, and they're what, like 200?
200 US, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So 350, I reckon they'd be in Australia.
Yeah. I mean, no, because it's Rode.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
means it would be cheap. It would be about the same price.
Yeah, 250 probably.
Yeah, if that.
Oh, sick.
So yeah. All right. Next paycheck. No, I'm kidding. No, I have other stuff to buy.
we don't have
We don't have a need for them. No.
You kind of do with your work.
Yeah, but I just use a lav mic that connects to my phone.
Yeah, and so that works fine.
It's okay.
It's the wireless ones are really good when you're like on the road.
This room is super echoey though.
True.
So
we need to do some. Well, no, we just need new space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, I like gear. I want more.
I want more. Always want more.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. It always goes so fast. We did.
I know.
We got through. Oh, actually, I really want to cover this Disney thing super quick.
Go.
Like, super quick. Okay.
1 minute.
I'm gonna give myself 2 minutes. So,
Go.
Disney announced last week that the Mulan movie is coming onto Disney Plus.
Oh yes.
But to watch it, you have to pay. It is a rental. It is not just on the service as a streaming platform. It is on the service as a rental, which is stupid, and I hate it, and it makes me so angry that they would market this streaming platform as a streaming platform and then release a new movie onto it and then go, we're releasing Mulan onto Disney Plus, and then everyone went, yay, and then they went, you're gonna have to pay $30, and then everyone went, no. So yeah,
Disney's way of making more money.
yeah, well, because they don't get cinema tickets. They don't get box office tickets.
It kind of makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's stupid. You're
Yeah.
dumb. You're dumb.
But if it's like $30,
Yeah, but how, like, okay, a much better way to do this. 1080 version, free with the service. Stream it. 4K version, rent it.
yeah. How many people would get 4K though? Enough to make money.
Heaps.
Yeah.
Heaps of people care enough. I do that all the time. We pay for a 4K Netflix subscription.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, that
Disney's
was my
way of
little
making more
complaint. Thank you. I forgot to mention that last week, and it was in my notes, and I had it highlighted this week.
And you nearly forgot.
And I nearly forgot. Look, there it
Oh
is.
yeah.
But yeah, super dumb. Disney, do better. Don't do this again.
Yeah, they stop scamming.
Yeah,
money.
stop scamming. Meh.
Don't
All
like
right.
it. Yeah.
Wait, wrong one. This one.
Joe's got a Foley Fact. Foley Fact. Joe's got a Foley Fact. Yeah.
Hey Joe,
Hey, yeah.
do you have a Foley fact?
In fact, I do actually.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Um,
Should I play the song?
no.
Sorry.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know
Give
either.
me a bit of a moment.
I don't know who this one came from, purely because I have used this before, and then I saw this and I was like, oh, sick. So for someone like throwing a rock or just something whizzing past the camera that's thrown, like maybe an arrow or a rock, not things that like a bullet that's super quick. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But quicker. Even quicker. Yeah, there you go. Like that. So you get a stick. I used a stick, but this guy
you've
said
told
you
me
use
this before.
Oh, have I did this before?
Not on the show. No,
Oh,
not on the
sick.
show.
Woo. So you get a stick or a piece of bamboo. This guy uses a piece of bamboo. I use a stick. And you get your mic out and you just sit it there and you just whip the stick as quick as you can past the mic. Don't hit the mic.
Oh, I mean,
Unless it's a SM58 or 57, then
beat it up as
doesn't
much
really
as you
matter.
want.
Yeah.
I like
But
that.
yeah, so you just whip it really past quick. Oh, wow.
Pass
Whip
quick.
it,
Just whip past quick.
whip
Real.
it. Yes. Arrow fly by.
That
Whip a stick past a mic.
beating up the SM58 reminded me of a video. I'm going to say this really quick because
Yes.
we really have to wrap up. The SM58 reminded me of a video of this guy playing a rock concert, and
Is it the one I showed you? That where you... No, okay, keep going.
and he's got the thing, and he's trying to imitate the kick, and he's got it. It's a really long XLR cable.
Yeah.
And he's swinging the SM58,
Oh, no.
and he's hitting it on the floor, and it's going,
Oh, I can just see the sound guy like,
And that's how he's doing the kick for this song.
oh, what the heck?
Anyway, should we wrap up?
Yeah, let's wrap up.
Cool. Thank you so much for listening to this or watching to. Let me try that again. Thank you so much for listening to or watching this episode of the Froe Show. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave some comments below of anything you want to talk about or engage with us. We love answering any questions and talking. If you have anything you want us to talk about in the next episode, email us at thefroshow@gmail.com. DM us at the Froe Show on all our social media, or leave a comment. And we will maybe talk about it if it's good. If it sucks, we won't.
Yeah, so make it good.
So make it good.
Make it good.
Check us out on our social media at The Froe Show. On everything, literally everything, all the things.
All the things.
All the things, except Pinterest, because no one likes Pinterest.
Yeah. Why would we get a Pinterest?
I don't know, if we wanted to put pictures of ourselves up or something.
That's for Pinterest.
That's your Pinterest. Otherwise, if you want more Froe Show content, check out the After Froe Show. We do them literally straight after we finish the episode every single week.
And it is even more mellow than the actual
Even
show.
more mellow, even dumber. There are no intelligent conversations there. Well,
It's
sometimes there are, but very rarely.
Yeah.
But check that out. There's also Soundcheck Shenanigans, bunch of other stuff. I post a couple resources on there. You're going to post some stuff on there.
Yep.
In the next couple of
Coming
weeks.
soon.
Check it out. Patreon.com/thefro show. We promise it is worth it. We work
is.
really hard on it.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have anything you want to finish on?
See you next week.
See you next week. All right. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a fantastic week. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.